Does this ever happen to you when you DJ? You're about to mix the next song and then you trigger it in, but then for some reason, your timing is off.
Oh yeah.
What if I told you that's actually not your fault? It's your DJ settings. Let me show you. In your DJ settings menu, if your latency or buffer size is set to around here, your timing is bound to feel off. So if you simply drag this down to anything under 10 ms, your timing will instantly feel tighter and more in sync with your actions. And this response time issue is a pretty common mistake beginners make when starting out. And the worst thing about it is that it's not your fault. And if you think this response time issue is bad, there are 5 more things that you could be doing wrong without you even knowing about it. From your settings, to how you mix any cue, to even selecting the next song. So in this video, I'm gonna show you what those 5 things are and what you should be doing instead, so that you can start DJing the right way. And speaking of starting the right way, the controller I'm using in this video is a gold DJing FLX4 and I'll be giving it away. Stick around to find out how you can win it. Before you even think of mixing, it's important to fix up your DJ settings from the get-go. So here are the only 5 things you need to do to get from this to this. First, go into your settings and make sure eject/load lock is set to lock. This setting prevents you from accidentally loading a new track onto a deck that's already playing, which could instantly cut off your music mid-set. So here's how this setting sounds like with it locked. And here it is unlocked. Next, make sure master tempo or key lock is enabled. This setting keeps the track's natural pitch intact no matter how much you adjust the tempo fader. Third, to help you visually see your track's phrases, go to View, then click Layout. And under Phrases, make sure these options are ticked on. Then go to Color, set your waveform color to RGB, and under Hot Cue Color, choose Colorful. These visual settings make it so much easier to see exactly where you are in a song. Next, go to Controller, scroll down, and under Hot Cue, make sure this option is enabled. Having this on gives you more control over your cue points. Now this next one's a bit technical. So go to View and under Key Display Format, select Alphanumeric. This setting will come in handy later when we start talking about the secret to selecting the perfect next track. And by the way, the DJ gear featured in this video is the FLX4. And I'm giving away a brand new gold FLX4, an exclusive DJ unit available only at Guitar Center. To join this giveaway, just like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Winners will be contacted via this specific email. And speaking of Guitar Center, it's not just the home of exclusive DJ gear, it's also the go-to place for all your DJ and music needs. So whether you're after the latest DJ equipment, searching for great deals on pre-owned gear, or upgrading your setup, Guitar Center has you covered. And honestly speaking, Guitar Center is the place where I get all my DJ gear because they simply offer the best prices on new and used gear and also have the best after-sales service. So check the links down below for the best deals, and with that said, back to the video. If you're into stem mixing, make sure these settings under extensions are enabled. These settings guarantee the best sounding stems. Next, this is optional, but if you want to further clean up your layout, disable everything here you don't use. And lastly, make sure tooltips is disabled. With your settings all fixed, let's move on to perfect mixing. Now most DJs when they're starting out tend to mix like this.
No! God, please, no! No!
It sounds jarring, rushed, and just slightly off. Pros on the other hand, mix with intention like this. The only difference between those two blends is that the pro DJ played the next song right when the current track hit its next phrase. And that's what we call phrase mixing. The reason why pros are so good at phrase mixing is because they know that most songs follow a predictable structure. The intro, verse, chorus, and outro usually have a set number of beats. And since your settings are already set to detect and display your track's phrases, all you have to do now is trigger your next track right when a new phrase begins. Now, it's important to keep in mind, not all songs have the same phrase length, but most follow 32-beat increments. So between those increments, most tracks' phrases change. So if you listen for that and mix accordingly, you'll be able to blend smoothly no matter where you transition in the song. But there are two key sections where most DJs transition. The first is that they mix the next song's intro section at the current song's outro section. This way, the first verse of the next song seamlessly begins right after the current song's outro section.
Let me get a bass line for the people. Ladies, leave those hands up now, fellas.
The advantage of this type of sectional mixing is that it provides the DJ the most time to prepare and beat match their next song. However, one potential impact on the dance floor is that the audience might become bored from the current song given that it's played in its entirety. Now, the second approach is to mix the next song's intro section at the current song's chorus section. This way, as the chorus of the current song ends, the first verse of the next song smoothly begins. Most pro DJs mix between these two sections because doing so helps maintain the energy of the mix. This type of sectional mixing not only maintains the momentum of the mix, but also provides the flexibility to switch tracks swiftly if the current song proves less effective. Now, before we move on, you may be wondering, where do DJs get their tracks with intros and outros? Because most of the time, songs just start immediately, making sectional mixing almost impossible. And as DJs, we simply need more time to mix, so extended edits like this are way more preferable. And these extended edits are only available for download from DJ Record Pools. And you can think of DJ Record Pools as huge libraries of music of all genres where DJs can download all the songs they could ever need. And these high quality tracks can range from radio edits to remixes, instrumentals, acapellas, and a whole lot more. So check the links down below for the best record pool deals right now and get a huge discount by using the coupon code DJ Carlo when you sign up. Now, the EQ section can be pretty intimidating if you're just starting out, so to keep things simple, here's what each EQ knob controls. But the most important one here is the low EQ knob, since it controls the bass frequencies of the song, and those usually dominate your entire mix. So don't overthink it or try to act like an audio engineer. Just keep it simple, just like the pros do. Because when they DJ, they mostly just focus on adjusting the low EQ. And they usually do this in two main ways. The first one is called bass swapping. And bass swapping is when you smoothly switch the bass from one track to another during a mix. Here's how it works. With your current song playing and your next song's volume and low EQ turned all the way down, slowly bring the next song's volume up. Then once both volume faders are up, get ready to do the bass swap as you reach the current song's next phrase. So once you're there, lower the current song's low EQ while bringing the next song's low EQ back to the neutral position. Then, begin mixing out from the current song as you normally would. Now that method mostly works for electronic genres like house, trance, etc. But for pop and hip-hop tracks, it's a bit different. Now, the key to mixing songs like these is to make sonic room for the next track. So here's how it works. With your current song playing and your next song's volume all the way down, as you reach your mix out point, start raising the next song's volume while gradually lowering the current song's low EQ. Then, begin mixing out from the current song as you normally would. Now that we've got all the technical stuff out of the way, let's talk about how pro DJs choose their next song. Normally, you'd vibe this out with the crowd, and that's totally fine. Song selection based on the moment and energy is always the best approach. But there's actually a way to narrow down your choices and make your transitions sound even smoother. And that's through something called harmonic mixing. And this is a process of mixing songs that are in key with each other, so their melodies and chords naturally blend together. To help you better understand this, here's an example of bad harmonic mixing. And here's an example of good harmonic mixing. By mixing tracks that are harmonically in sync, you not only make your set sound cleaner and more musical, but you also simplify your song selection, since you'll know exactly which tracks will sound great together. Now, there are many ways and levels to approach mixing in key, and one can go extremely deep. However, to keep things simple, I'll teach you my way of mixing in key, which utilizes my T-method strategy. Let's break it down. So this is a Camelot wheel. Consider it as your guide for harmonic mixing. So if you want to mix in key, just imagine a T sign overlaid on this image. For example, let's say you're mixing a track that's in the key of 4A. So you've got 4 options that'll blend perfectly. So it's going to be 4A, 4B, 3A, or 5A.
Sound is electronic.
Put your hands up in the air, put your hands up in the air.
And finally, the most common mistake DJs make is that they don't analyze their tracks. Loading them into your playlist and then loading them to your decks simply isn't enough. All done.
No! God, please, no!
Not analyzing and preparing your tracks could lead to problems like this. Analyzing your tracks fixes all that. It gives you accurate beat grids, auto gain for balanced levels, BPM and key info for harmonic mixing, and helps your software run smoother. So here's how to analyze your tracks on Rekordbox DJ and Serato DJ. On Rekordbox DJ, right-click a track and select Analyze Track. Then make sure these options are selected. Then press OK. On Serato DJ, select your track and drag it here. And that's it. But if you're still worried about mistakes or things that could potentially ruin your DJ career, make sure to watch this video next because this will help you out.